Welcome, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me today on this live on presentation and public speaking. My name is Olga Benyaminova, and I'm so thrilled to be here with you today and to talk about the power of effective presentation and public speaking. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you had to deliver a presentation and your heart started racing, your palm got sweat, and your mind actually went blank? Well, if that happens to you, then you're definitely not alone. Public speaking can be very intimidating, but I'm here to tell you that with the right strategies and techniques, you can become a very confident and impactful speaker. Today, my goal is to teach you and equip you with practical tips that will give you some techniques, and this will help you to deliver a compelling presentation, captive audience that will be engaged with you and leave a very long-lasting impression. Whether you are a student, a professional, or someone that simply wants to improve their communication skill, this presentation is for you. During our time together, I want to cover three main points or three main areas. The first one is the importance of preparation, how important it is to properly prepare so you can boost your confidence and set yourself up for success. I also want to talk about the techniques for engaging your audience, what you can do and strategies that can help you grab the audience attention, as well as keep their attention throughout your presentation. And lastly, I want to talk about overcoming the challenges. So we'll address the common fear. We all have some fears, some obstacles, or something that can arise during your public speaking, to provide you a practical solution for overcoming those. I'll start with my presentation. And I want to first introduce what public speaking is. So public speaking is really a skill that can be learned and improved with practice. Let's embrace this opportunity to grow together and step out of our comfort zone. By gaining a deeper understanding, and I'll cover the differences and the similarities between public speaking and presentation, you can leverage these skills and use them in so many different scenarios. By the end of my presentation, I hope that you will feel very empowered and inspired to take your presentation and public speaking skills to the next level. So let's jump to explore the world of effective presentation and public speaking. So let's try to understand public speaking. Public speaking is really a powerful, very powerful form of communication that allows individuals to deliver a message, express their thoughts and ideas, and engage with the audience. It's actually a skill that plays a very significant role in so many different aspects of life, from your personal relationship to your professional success. Public speaking is an act of speaking to a specific group of people, which can be formal or informal. And it passes on a message that could be persuasive, inspiring, or even entertaining. It involves effectively delivering a message through verbal communication, utilizing language, tone, and body language to captivate and engage the listeners. We've talked about public speaking this whole month. And if you want to just go over some of the things that I've mentioned before about public speaking and about communication skills, that really applies in here. You can go and find it on my YouTube channel. You can just watch it on my Facebook page, but they really do go hand to hand together with the development of presentation and speaking. So developing those strong public speaking skills really has several reasons. The first reason that I want to talk about is the empowerment of the individual to articulate the idea. And when you have that idea and you present it clearly and confidently, that is really giving you that power during your presentation. When you deliver a presentation in a workspace, speaking at a conference, you can also have an expression of some sort of a social event or social setting. That ability of communication effectively can really impact on how ideas are perceived and understood. The second reason why public speaking is so important is because it's essential for professional growth and success. Many leaders many leader positions actually require individuals to be able to address and inspire the teams. You sometimes are required to present ideas to clients. You need to represent the organization in a specific public forum. So all of these require you the master of art of public speaking, and that can significantly enhance your career and open up door to many other opportunities that can enhance your professional development. Some elements of effective public speaking. The first element is a clear purpose, and I want to add, besides the clear purpose, which is really be clear and concise on what the purpose of your speech is. But in addition to that, you want to be clear and concise in the message that you are sending to deliver. A successful public speaker communicates their message clearly and ensuring that the audience understands the main points and the takeaways. So really make sure that you know what you're talking about, but not just that. Make sure that it's clear to the audience on what exactly you are talking and how you are going to deliver those ideas. The second important element is an engaging opening. It's not just the opening that's important, but opening is what engages and captures your audience and giving them the attention to actually see whether or not they need your presentation or whatever engagement that you are adding. It's very helpful to include a storytelling, because when you incorporate a storytelling technique to make the speech more reliable and more memorable, you actually use personal case study or personal example that allows to illustrate your point and connect with your audience in a more emotional level. When you do storytelling, it actually captivates an audience and help them connect emotionally with you as a speaker and with your message. Incorporating the audience with examples, with narrative, can actually make the speech so much more memorable and impactful. And as I mentioned, it's not just the engaging introduction that you want to do. You also want to have an engaging conclusion to end your speech with a strong, memorable conclusion. When you summarize your main points, you restate your key message, and you actually help the audience leave with some kind of a memory about your presentation. A lot of times a call to action or something with a thought-provoking statement helps the audience remember and have a strong, memorable conclusion of your presentation. So make sure your conclusion aligned with your overall purpose and with your engaged opening. We'll talk about the well-structured content as well. It is so important that you have a speech that's organized and it's actually clear in many different ways. So first of all, that it's clear in the way that it's written. And of course, it depends if you're doing a presentation or just a speech, but there's certain things that you got to keep in mind for which we spoke about. We spoke about the body language this whole month when we talked about communication skills, effective use of the body language, and even the vocal varieties in public speaking, because it's not just about the words, it's about how those words are delivered. A skillful use of your vocal varieties, such as some tone, pace, emphasis, can actually go very deep and include or add meaning to the speech. Similarly, when you use appropriate body language, your gesture, your facial expressions, those enhance the speaker's credibility. and engages the audience so much more. When I mentioned the visual aids are very important for presentation, and I'll cover that in a little bit. It utilizes slides, but in addition to slides, we can use videos or some props that help keep your presentation more memorable, keep it visual, and when it's visual, it's a little bit more engaging. The vocal varieties, as I mentioned, would be something that engages based on the tone, the pitch, and the pace. So kind of be clear as you speak and project your voice, I'm sorry, to ensure everyone can hear you clearly. And lastly, body language plays the most important role, especially in a presentation when you're talking. Stand tall, use open and confident posture. Make sure that you have all of the things that you want to say and present with your facial expression fitting the exact expression that you want to convey or show the others. So that these are extremely crucial in an effective public speaking. The fourth element is the connection to the audience. You have to understand that the audience get connected or disconnected from you as you present a specific presentation. So what the audience needs is showing the interest, or they need to understand what it is that you're talking about. So when you deliver something that's captivating the audience and keeps them engaged and relevant for whatever they need to learn from you. The way that you can engage your audience is maybe even practices and preparation. If you have some practice on what you're speaking and you speak in a confident way, you seek the feedback, you want to hear what your audience is saying, that allows this engagement, but also awareness of your audience. It helps if you familiarize yourself with the content, but avoid memorizing it. Because when you memorize word for word, sometimes something can throw you off. And then not only that you forget the rest of the speech, you actually can't continue. So knowing what you're talking about just in general bulk, but keep maintaining eye contact, smile, show enthusiasm, and make sure you engage your audience at all times. So as we explore the different presentation skills, keep in mind that presentations are very common and essential form of communication in many different professions and educational settings. It can be defined as structured communication process, which involves delivering information to a specific audience, which has visual aids, as we mentioned, maybe slides, charts, videos, multimedia, anything that allows the person, the person that is the audience, I should say, to be engaged. It serves as an important tool to enhance understanding, engage the listeners both visually and verbally, and also supports the speaker's message. In addition, presentations can happen in classroom, conferences, or any settings that is essential for effective communication. So whether you are presenting in a professional setting or even at your own home, the ability is really to influence your audience. So it's very important to develop a presentation skill. It's a skill that you're not born with. It's a skill that you can teach yourself as you go. So whether it's in a business, academia, or any professional field, you want to be impactful on your presentation. What is so important in your skills? So first, effective communication. And I had a presentation that I've shown you at the beginning of December. You can look it up again on effective communication, how the skills that you need or what the skills are that you need to be clear and effective in your presentation. The presentation skill helps and can help in career advancement because when you have strong presentation skills or strong public speaking, it can actually impact your professional growth very significantly. If you present an idea to a colleague or to your boss or to a team or any communication that you are passing on, it actually allows or can open new opportunities, new doors, promote, and give you some leadership roles. Presentation skills build your confidence. When you have that skill, it definitely does boost your self-confidence and self-esteem, because as you practice, as you improve your presentation abilities, you become more comfortable, and you are more comfortable speaking in front of people, in front of an audience, in front of many individuals, and that presents a lot of confidence for you. It influences others. Some presentations are so effective that allows you to influence and inspire others, whether you are just delivering something very small, a pitch of a product, or some workshop that you're doing. That ability allows to engage your audience and, of course, create a significant impact if they know your presentation and your presentation skill is shown. Professional reputation, strong presentation skills do contribute to a very positive professional reputation. If you know how to present yourself and you can talk and present your opinions to others, that can lead to increased trust, respect, and even opportunities for collaboration or job opportunities. It helps you to have effective knowledge sharing. Presentation gives you a platform to share your knowledge and expertise with others. Whether you're teaching a class or giving a conference talk or even doing a small workshop, all of these abilities allow you to help others to learn what you already know. That information that you're presenting to others can be very useful to others if it is presented in the correct way. Networking and relationship building presentations really do give you opportunities to connect with like-minded individuals. You can have potential collaboration, and when you speak at a conference or at a seminar, you are opening opportunities to meet people that think alike or even collaborate and work together. It helps your professional development as you develop that skill and journey on a professional growth. It encourages self-reflection, continuous learning, and even improvement. So as you teach yourself on presentation abilities, you become more aware of what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are. So that allows you to find the areas where you need to focus on growth. Let's focus on the main differences, followed by the main similarities between public speaking and presentation skills. So as I mentioned before, public speaking and presentation are really both skills that are not things you're born with, but things that you can learn. So with practice, dedication, and growth of mindset, everyone can become confident and effective presenter. So let's invest in our development with your presentation skills, unlock your full potential to communicate and influence, and then make a positive impact in various areas of your life. So with that, I want to present the differences and the similarities. So we'll start with the differences. The main difference is the scope. Well, there's several main differences, I should say. So first of all, the scope. Public speaking specifies the type of deliver of message. Whether you're doing a speech, which is verbal, or presentation, which is presented, you will have to know what audience you are presenting to. So presentation skill has a broad understanding and broad range of abilities that you can deliver effectively. Just to kind of reinforce the main differences between public speaking and presentation, because they both really closely related, and there are main differences that set one over the other. Public speaking refers to the act of a speech that you present to an audience. So it involves some information or ideas or even opinions that you present to an audience. It takes many different forms and through, it could be a TED Talk, it could be a keynote, but the focus of public speaking is to effectively communicate, engage the audience, and deliver a message with a clear impact. A presentation skill, on the other hand, is a broader set of abilities that relate to deliver information or even content in a structural and engaging manner. In public speaking, as we said, it is part of presentation skill. So you need to be able to be a public speaker when you do a presentation, but in addition, it includes the ability to have a wide range of context. So if you are doing an educational setting like I'm doing now, it is a presentation in addition to a speech that provides explanation on what the presentation has. So level of interactive level of interactivity is very important when you do public speaking versus presentation, because there is a significant difference in between the two of them. The context in public speaking, we usually have a formal setting when you have a conference or a public event, but a presentation can be applied both formal and informal. So it varies between the different types. In public speaking, we emphasize on effective communication. We want to make sure that the audience is engaged, and we want to deliver the message with an impact. For presentation skill, it is also important to have an addition, a communication skill, but you focus on visual design. You want to make sure that your content is organized and you keep the audience engaged as they go through your presentation. The fourth one is the delivery style. Public speaking often involves delivering a speech when you present your specific ideas, whereas in presentation, you can include different discussions. You can have an interactive session. It doesn't have to be just one person talking and the other is listening. So just to kind of summarize the main differences between them, and have you guys just understand that even though they are very connected, they do have differences in between them. So first, as I mentioned, the format in public speaking, it's a speech that delivers to an audience, whereas presentation is really a visual display. The interaction of the audience in public speaking, it's very limited. We usually have a one-way communication. One person is presenting, the others are listening, whereas in presentation, it can involve, as I mentioned, an interaction in between the people in the audience. You deliver that verbally and non-verbally for public speaking, because we talked about the style, the tone, the body language, and so on. But when you do presentation, it's primarily visual communication. You just communicate to what the people see. The purpose of public speaking is to inform, persuade, and entertain, whereas the purpose of presentation is to inform, educate, and demonstrate. For a public speaking presentation, you have a time frame that can vary in length. It could be very short and it could be very long. But for presentation, it's usually time bound, very short or medium. For public speaking, we don't use visual representation or very little visual representation, whereas for presentation, it is essential and very important. And lastly, the engagement. When you are doing public speaking, it's just required to establish a connection with the audience. But when you are doing a presentation, you want to captivate their attention through visual representation and to deliver certain things that you know will catch their eye and keep their engagement. So now let's focus on similarities. Although they are distinct and they are different, there are several similarities that contribute to effective communication. If you want to understand these different areas, let's learn about their similarities. One of the similarities is the communication. They both require an effective communication skill. They both require verbal and sometimes even nonverbal for presenting whatever you are articulating. Proper use of body language, tone of voice, and of course, the ability to engage the audience is very essential for both of them. Whether it's capturing the attention of a listener during the public speaking or engaging them through the presentation and the visual representations that you're showing, communication skill is really important for both. The focus of the audience, like I mentioned, you do want to make sure and consider that you need to keep the audience engaged. For that, it is important that you have an effect on the audience, and it's important to know the size of the audience because that does contribute a lot to your presentation. So when you have, so for both public speaking and presentation, you can measure that in terms of the effectiveness. In both of them, the speaker's ability to engage the audience really conveys the intent of the message to be clear and leave a lasting impact on the audience. That is the crucial factor. Audience size, as I mentioned, can vary for both public speaking and presentation. Public speaking usually involves addressing a larger audience, like a conference or a seminar. Presentations can range from a small group to a large gathering, but in both cases, you adapt to your community, their style, you engage the audience, and of course, the bigger the group, the harder it is to engage all of them. But it basically is expected to adapt to the listeners and know your community. Preparation, very important to be prepared for both public speaking and presentation. Go through your PowerPoint several times. Make sure you know the visual aids. Make sure that you're well prepared and you know the structure, what comes before and what comes after. It's the same with public speaking, whether you're reading off a paper or if you are just speaking off from your head and your memory. It is important to know the sequence so you don't jump back and forth and stay on task with relevant information, with a flow of information. Both public speaking and presentation require engagement of audience. We talked about it several times already. So involve like storytelling for public speaking, visual aids for presentation, and there are so many other techniques that can be used and engage the interest of the audience. Delivery skills. For both public speaking and presentation, you need to have an effective delivery skill, which includes body language, eye contact, make sure you smile as you go. Both form of communication really benefit from those delivery techniques to engage and connect with the listener. The objective for both of them, you must have a specific objective or purpose, whether it's informal information that you want to inform or you want to persuade or you just want to entertain. That is holding on for whatever purpose you're doing, as long as your audience continues to be engaged and understanding on the message that you are sending them. Continuous improvement for both public speaking and presentation skills that you develop, you really can improve through time. With more practice, with feedback, with learning, you can enhance yourself and become more effective. So you constantly and consistently can learn and add more things to be more effective as you go. So in summary, while public speaking and presentation have some differences, they also share several similarities. They both involve effective communication, audience focus, preparation, engagement, delivery skills, objective-driven content, and the potential for continuous improvement. If you recognize those leverages between the similarities, the individual can enhance their overall communication ability and deliver a very impactful message to their audience. So how to master your public speaking and presentation skill? So first of all, and I think it's probably the most important, although there are several different ways to improve your skill, the first most important is to study and learn. You really want to research. You want to make sure that you learn about effective public speaking first. Make sure you know about the techniques. Read books, watch TED Talks, take online courses, or even attend workshops to gain the insight and knowledge about the subject that you want to present. Make sure you are familiar with the differences and the different speaking styles, delivery techniques, strategies, and how you can engage your audience. It is very important that you tailor your content and deliver the interest and the needs. The second one is craft concise message. I wanna say that it's more of setting a clear goal. When you define your goal for improving your public speaking and presentation skill, you can also identify specific areas that you want to work on in terms of even reducing your nervousness as you go to present something, improve your vocal varieties, enhance your visual design. All of these things can be learned through process of educating yourself. Set a clear goal to know what helps you and how you can help yourself focus and measure your progress. Make sure you practice regularly. That's the third one. Rehearse your speech. Practice regularly. It's really the key to master any skill. Practice makes it perfect. I'm sure you've heard that before. Set aside a dedicated time for practice sessions by practicing in front of a mirror, so you could actually observe yourself, your body language, your facial expressions as you speak, your gesture, and in addition, process with the practice maybe in front of friends, in front of family, in front of an audience that is supportive, that can give you some feedback. And that is extremely important to hear. Seek feedback. Feedback is a very valuable thing to get for your growth and your improvement. When you get feedback, it helps you to see what is it that you might want to improve, and it could be constructive criticism. Ask specific feedback on areas that you want to improve. It helps to hear from someone else, maybe how can you engage others, or what visual designs you can use. Other people's feedback may actually help you to be better as you go. Use appropriate gestures, maintain eye contact, control your vocal tone. All of these are part of your regular practice that would make you do much better as you go. Incorporate visual elements such as slides. That helps if you have something that you're looking at and you can observe as you go and kind of guide you through. Encouraging interactions, ask questions, use storytelling, make sure that the people are consistently and constantly engaged with you. That help you manage your nervousness. If you know people are engaged, you can actually become a better speaker when they are making more of a dialogue as opposed to just one person speaking. So that would help you improve your nervousness. Be flexible in adapting to your community style. Sometimes we need to change. And as we go, we learn more and we change more. Don't stick to one style. Don't always think that this is the only way or the best way. You can learn, continue to learn and adapt, because it's a skill that is not static. It's a constant skill that moves and changes. Keep updating yourself on current trends, techniques, best practices. Continue to seek opportunities to learn and to adapt the skill in different contests and different audience. Attend different workshops, seminars, webinars, or anything that can expand your knowledge. That brings me to actually continuous education. It's very important that you continue to learn from others by attending public speaking events, conferences, seminars. Observe different speakers, pay attention to how they deliver their body language, their visual aids, your how the audience is engaged to their technique, and basically take notes. Take notes on what works for one person, and you can always check it to see if it works for you. Be flexible, adapt to what can work. And lastly, be yourself and let your passion and enthusiasm shine through your delivery. When you are confident and when you are passionate about what you're teaching, it can actually be delivered through. remember as you go that failure is also okay. We learn through failures. So embrace those feedbacks. Sometimes not every presentation is actually going to be very successful, but every presentation is an opportunity to grow and improve. So embrace those constructive criticisms. Learn from your mistakes. Use those mistakes as a stepping stone to become better speaker. Remember, even the most accomplished speakers started somewhere and faced challenges along the way. Mastering public speaking and presentation skills is a journey that requires a lot of patience, persistence, and a growth mindset. If you follow those steps and be consistent by practicing, seeking feedback, learning from others, you really can continue to improve and become a confident, impactful speaker. So in conclusion, understand that we do have differences, although we do have similarities as well between both public speaking and presentation. If you understand the differences, then you can actually become very confident in compelling the communication. You got to know which way works best for you, and preparing for the different varieties of public speaking and presentation will allow you to grow and to understand how to present whatever it is that you're presenting in a better way. I would love to hear feedback as part of what we spoke about today, but also if you want to enhance some of the things or clarify some of the things, if there's anything that I wasn't clear of, if there's anything that is interesting you. So feel free to send me a message, email me. I do want to do a book review for next presentation. So I did offer you several books to read, and I'm not sure if you guys have read them. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to find those books. One of them I know was Crucial Conversations, Tools for Talking When Stakes Are High. So I would love to review that if that's something you guys want to review. I am reading that with one of my book club. Another book that I've recommended, and that's what I'm reading with another book club that I'm doing, and that's Netiquette Essential. I did have a presentation 2 weeks ago on what netiquette is. This is the way that the internet is having those communication skills. The third book I recommended was Getting to Yes, Negotiating Agreement Without Giving In. And that's another very important book for communication skills. And the last one, which relates to what we did today, it's called Talk Like Ted, 9 Public Speaking Secrets of World's Top Minds. Any one of those, I am open to hear your suggestions. I will be reviewing it and having presented that next week. So please comment below and let me know what you would like to hear about. Until our educational journey crosses again, always remember that learning is a gateway to a bright future. Enjoy your week. See you next week.